Now, page 4, impeaching the wrong president. Since 1968, which president constantly ignored or violated the United States Constitution? Which president rewrote laws passed by Congress? Which president refused to enforce federal law? Which president used the fourth branch of government as a political weapon to attack and intimidate his enemies? Which president was derelict, aka MIA, when Americans were in harm's way in North Africa? Which president usurped Article 2 of the Constitution in order to give a sweetheart deal and billions of dollars in cash to our enemy? The answer to all of the above is Barack Obama, of course. The 44th president could and should have been brought up on impeachment charges for any or all of these high crimes and misdemeanors. But he wasn't. Instead, today, the 45th president is being subjected to a relentless assault by Democrats in Congress who are threatening to impeach based on no violation of President Trump's oath of office. None. These would be constitutional geniuses like Congressman Al Green of Texas. Mr. Green apparently has selective retention and a very warped understanding of the founding document, as evidenced by his misguided call for impeaching Donald Trump.
Let me just tell you this. I think it's important. This is not something that I wanted to do.
Stop the tape. No, you kind of had to do it as a member of the Democrat Party. You have what we might call Democrat-itis. It is a disease. It is a sickness. You are ill, Congressman. But there is a cure. There is one out there. It's called the United States Constitution. And I would recommend you going into the emergency entrance of the Library of Congress and get an IV drip of the United States Constitution, stat. Roll tape.
It's something that I feel compelled to do.
Stop the tape. Do you own a trench coat? I'm just wondering, you feel compelled. Do you have control over your bodily function? You're a representative in the great state of Texas, in the Lone Star State. Why don't you feel compelled to help the people of Texas who, along the border, are being overrun by illegal immigrants? That would be a nice use of your feeling of being compelled, don't you think? Roll tape.
And I feel that I must do this because the president has obstructed justice.
Stop the tape. You wonder if a guy like this, supposedly a lawmaker, does he even know what obstruction of justice means? He's just throwing it out there, hoping it sticks to the wall. But there's absolutely no evidence, none whatsoever, of obstruction of justice by the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. Roll tape.
When the president fired the FBI director who was investigating him.
Stop the tape. And we know that James Comey has said, first of all, that he was not investigating the President of the United States. And it is the President's prerogative to hire and fire any FBI director. Frankly, from this chair, I think the President on day one, hour one, minute one, should have fired James Comey for his actions and the way he tortured himself and infused himself into the 2016 election cycle. It was absolutely an abomination to our civil society what James Comey did by allowing Hillary Clinton off the hook in his absolutely narcissistic and almost paranoid interpretation of federal statute and completely ignoring federal law like the Espionage Act. He should have been fired a long time ago. Roll tape.
Then went on to tweet what might be considered some threats.
Stop the tape. What Donald Trump tweeted after that meeting, or about that meeting, was that there better not be, for Comey's sake, any recording of the conversation. It's not a threat. It's an observation. Because apparently Donald Trump is speaking the truth, and maybe James Comey is not, Congressman. Roll tape.
Strong admonitions. That was obstruction of justice. Now, there are many other things that are occurring, and these things may be evidence to further the finding of obstruction of justice. But the president did it. And by the way, the president confessed on national TV.
Stop the tape. No, the president said he fired James Comey because he is a grandstander. And that's exactly what James Comey is, among other things. I think he's a very tortured soul. It was evidenced by the way he testifies before Congress, by the way he issued his opinion on the Hillary Clinton matter over and over and over again. And frankly, I don't even know how he was hired for the job in the first place. Of course, it was up to Barack Obama, so that might be the answer. And I think that Donald Trump is going to come up with a first-class FBI nominee, and this whole nightmare is going to be over regarding James Comey pretty soon. He is testifying this week, by the way, and James Comey had better be careful because he might have painted himself into a bit of a legal corner, especially involving these memos. And if the Republicans have any brain cells whatsoever, they need to subpoena all of the James Comey memos dating back to and through the Obama administration, and then we might actually get some answers to what went on behind the scenes, especially regarding the Hillary Clinton investigation. So it's fortunate, it's very fortunate, that people like Al Green and Maxine Waters are not in positions of leadership in Washington, D.C. However, it's just as unfortunate that there are Republican members of Congress in positions of leadership who were too afraid to hold Barack Obama accountable for high crimes and misdemeanors, who should have impeached the prior president.